Hello, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. Last episode, we were told a lot of things. This episode, we'll see if some of those things came true.
Good morning. Nice job yesterday, Ki-chan.
You didn't do so badly yourself, Mion. Yesterday was fun.
Oh, that's right, Kiachi-kun. Thank you so much for Mr. Bear.
I'm glad you liked it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though.
I wouldn't.
Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom. But the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water, and unfortunately, my foot stepped right onto it.
My now, how diligent of you to mop the floor this morning.
Clomp, 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 whip.
Ah! Kiachi-san flicked my forehead!
She may be more demon now. It's been a while since I recorded the last episode, so forgive me if the voices don't entirely sync.
You should set a more brutal trap next time.
Seeing that, Rena began to swoon as Mion looked on dejectedly. Everything was the same as it always was. Everything was there and nothing felt out of place. The uncertainties I had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished.
What is it, Kiachi-kun? Didn't get enough sleep, maybe? Maybe?
I slept like a log, but if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class.
You shouldn't do that!
Mion alerted us that the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats. Oh, this is a new voice. Well, I know for a fact this is the teacher, so, Good morning, everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Thank you to all the people who stayed up till the very end to help clean up. We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus. Okay then, this time of year you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines. I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out, but then I noticed a different tone in her— oh god, the teacher's a girl— in her voice and started paying attention. Oh my, I have something
In my throat. There we go. You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way. Do you understand?
In unison, everyone replied, yes, ma'am. What she said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the fifth year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetrate. I know I said it right. Perpetrate. Perpetuate? No, perpetuate. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, don't spout stupid... No, wait. No, she wasn't actually saying. She was saying, don't spout stupid shit you think is funny. And now, I was one of those who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. I was summoned to the club activities after school. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we spent the day relaxing. Yeah, that wasn't happening.
Today, let's play a classic game of deduction. How about this one?
Oh, a game from overseas. Looks interesting.
The instructions are in English, but the rules don't seem that hard.
I won't lose you here.
I'm not too bad at this game. It seemed that Rena didn't handle this kind of game very well.
Rules are, the person who can match the murderer, weapon, and the scene of the crime wins.
They're literally playing Clue. Okay. There are 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. I could see that the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Oh, a card with my name on it as well.
There are plenty of different weapons, too. Like knives, axes, and poison. The locations are pretty nice, too. Like the living room, the study, and the courtyard.
So basically, you take one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards.
So we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones.
Ah, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators.
Then you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends when we check if the answer is correct.
If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point. Since the game ends if no one gets it right, then the cards are gathered up and redistributed. Blah, 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 blah.
You'll learn as you go. You'll really have to use your brain.
You'll get confused if you don't take notes. The rest of you can figure it out by planning. So, Mion, what's the penalty of this game? Everyone directed their attention to Mion.
Let's see. We're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we take it easy with a gopher penalty. You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone.
So just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess?
I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple. I wonder why that is, really. I wonder... wait, nope. I wonder, is it really?
Is Kiyachi-san thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah. You don't know what you're going to have to buy. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream or happy family planning manual or other crazy stuff. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out, so that means all the cards I have in my hand are innocent cards.
Then, I'll go first since I'm the club president, I guess.
Well then, Mion, knife study. What?
Well then, Mion, knife study.
You pick one suspect, weapon, and murder scene, and you ask each person. If you have any of the cards, then you must say, I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Yeah, I got it.
Me too!
I have one.
Oh my, all of them are here.
3 people answered when she asked if they had Mion, knife, and study. So that means that Mion and knife and study are all in the clear. Got to jot that down.
Then I'll go. Rena, axe, lounge.
Only 2 people said they had one. So it means out of Rena, axe, and lounge, one of them is correct and is part of the crime. No, wait, even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. It's possible that either Satoko or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards.
Well, Kiyachi-chan is next, go...
Wait.
Well, Ki-chan is next, go ahead.
Wait, fuck! That's the second wrong voice.
Well, Kiyachi-chan is next, go ahead.
god, it's confusing sometimes. Well, wait, just a little. I'm still sorting things out. The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's going to be tough. Can't believe I screwed up the voice 3 times.
Alright, now I have the criminal.
What? Already? Here I am, spinning around in circles, and Mion just raises her hand.
The murderer is Rika-chan. In the infirmary with the poison. Well?
Mion drew the cards from the box and checked to see if her deduction was right.
You were right!
Ugh. All I needed was one more hand. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or a pistol.
I'd never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with poison. Rika-chan said said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet little face. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Rena and I were left out in the cold, though.
How did you do, Kiachi-kun? I couldn't get it at all.
Don't worry. I had no idea either.
How can you both be so unsure? You'd both end up in last place together at this rate.
That's even worse. Going off buying something together as a couple? What if it ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Guide? I can tell from Kiachi's expression that he's not very good at this game. What? That's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock Mahabara during the next round.
My, that sounds just wonderful. I shall give you quite the thrashing.
After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of expertise was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback is if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to a thought process that needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win at the game. Eureka. Sorry, I need to go to the bathroom.
Take your time and squeeze out a nice one.
Mi-chan, that's gross!
I had them hold off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Rena had made her way over towards me.
Kiachi-kun, did you call for me?
Yes, I did. As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Rena. I'm glad it worked out. I don't want to waste much time, so I'll get right to the point. Rena, what's your record at this game we're playing today? She was taken aback. For a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth.
Well, all losses? Why do you ask? I wonder.
I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out one way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one.
So, I guess both of us will be taking that penalty?
Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this? Both of us.
But how can we?
I brought my lips up to Rena's ear.
Whisper, 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 whisper.
Huh? Is that allowed? I mean, all you said was whisper, whisper, whisper!
Did you forget, Rena? The second rule of our society. Do everything within your power to obtain victory.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Our plan of attack was quite a rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know. We began the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less. With this sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys.
Yeah, with this we can probably win.
We both smirked at each other. If I was the shady businessman, then Rena was the corrupt senator. Pleasure doing business with you. Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone. Burp.
Hey now, there's no point if we go back together.
It would be like flat out telling them we made a little agreement. Oh wait.
It would be like flat out telling them we made an agreement.
I don't know who's talking right now.
Oh, sorry, then what should we do?
Go back ahead of me, Rena. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something.
Okay, got it.
Rena turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a bit longer before going back. If I went too soon, then it would not seem like I went to the bathroom. If Mion or one of them suspected something, then there could be problems. Well, they'd figure it out sooner or later because both Rena and I would start winning over and over again. Both Rena and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realizes what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all. I don't know who's talking.
Mahibara-kun, may I have a moment?
Oh.
Mahibara-kun, may I have a moment?
Huh? It's the teacher. Man, things were just getting good. What is it? I'm a bit...
You have a guest. Please make your way to the entrance.
A guest? It's not like I own a hotel.
They have been waiting. Please hurry.
It was rather unfortunate that I'd have to have someone waiting on me right before my big match, but I was more interested in the unexpected guest. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. The entryway was a heavy contrast from the harsh sunlight and deep shadows. Waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened and his jacket tucked underneath his arm. Okay, new character, new voices. I could use the teacher voice I tried to use, but didn't realize that it was a lady.
Are you Mahabara-san? Kiachi Mahabara-san.
There was no question that he wasn't a resident. There was no question that he was not a resident of Hamanazawa, and that it was, without a doubt, the first time he had ever met me. Ever since I met T-Dog-san, I've been running into so many middle-aged men. That's right. Who might you be?
I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there.
His voice changed.
It's a bit hot out here, don't you think?
God damn it. The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car parked near the gate and began walking. You've got to be kidding me. I have no intention of going along with some geezer I don't even know. And he was asking me to get in his car with him? I'm not going to bite. Come on now. Oh, wait, no.
I'm not going to bite. Come on now.
He opened the back of his car door and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about. Even while knowing that the conversations that start out like this have never led to anything good. The inside of his car was pretty cool, as in cold. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least.
Please let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up.
So what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture which was stuck between its pages. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy.
If you know anything related to this individual, then please tell me.
Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize him, who he was, from his expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the DMV. There were
scribbles on his shirt done in permanent marker. Starting with yours, Mahabara-san, and quite a few of her classmates signed it as well.
Huh? This is T-Dog-san. There's no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face.
Then, do you know this woman?
Even before seeing it, I had a good idea who it was. I don't remember her name, but she was the same lady who was with T-Dog-san last night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hamanazawa.
When was the last time you saw these two?
The night of the Watanagashi, we spoke. They seemed like they were pretty close, I guess.
Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it.
Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now.
Did something happen to them?
There was no response to... Oh, wait. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus, I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no, certain, that this guy was a cop. Then why? Why was he asking about T-Dog-san? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again.
You moved here just recently, isn't that right, Mahabara-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of the Oshiro-sama?
My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face.
Not at all.
Oh wait, not at all. Wait.
Not at all. If you don't, then that's fine.
Well, I have heard of it. T-Dog-san told me, actually.
How much do you know about it?
The dismemberment killing, the accidental death, the death by illness followed by suicide, and the lady who was beaten to death. The incidents that always happened the day of the Watanagashi. Gashi. Yeah, that's basically right. Ending in the suspicious deaths. I didn't think T-Dog-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No, rather, I didn't want to think there was anything more than that.
Do you know of that, well, curse, Mahabara-san? Feel free to speak openly about it.
I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it, as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away from my own doubts, and that was the more prominent feeling.
Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys.
So what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point?
The man in the picture is dead.
My mind went blank. Huh? What happened to T-Dog-san?
It was seemed that he died last night. That was the night of the Watanagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Mahabara-san?
Implications? Not any at all. Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi. Meaning, this year, the curse of Oshiro-sama had once again...
The death of Jiro T-Dog is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right?
I don't want to understand why.
Please, tell me.
Oh wait, please tell me. Tell me what happened.
It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Haminazawa.
It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something that I shouldn't. Or at least, that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest.
One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, you know where the road into the town becomes paved, right? Down past that slope, on the shoulder around there.
There were a few streetlights on that road. Its pitch-black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that T-Dog-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder— Wait. No, this is him still telling me, right?
It was a stroke of luck that T-Dog-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. T-Dog-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. We thought it was a hit and run at first, but then the officer checked to see if he was still alive, and he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open.
From a knife or something?
No. Nails.
Nails? As in fingernails? With those he clawed through? What? With those he clawed through?
From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was with his own nails.
The fuck? Huh? What does that mean?
Basically, it means it...
Wait. Fuck! I can't tell if this is being said or thought. It's not in quotes, so it's not being said. Fucking hell. Basically, it means that it wasn't a murder. It was suicide. T-Dog-san thought there was a reason to tear open his own throat, as hard as he could with his own nails. Tore through the skin until he started to bleed, and even then T-Dog-san didn't stop. He continued clawing. With enough intensity that he could have peeled off his nails, still clawing, still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those... fucking shit. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Spurt. Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed, his body spasmed, and he died in agony.
We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected.
But it was a suicide. I'd never heard of such a thing. It's a unnatural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died in these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and T-Dog-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were both wrong.
There were a few more suspicious details. From his body chemistry, perspiration, elaptation, and so on, we concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death.
That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing their throat.
Wounds on his hands matched a discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There were traces from where he struck the trees and the guardrails within.
Where? Yes.
T-Dog-san's blood was found all over the place. Meaning
that while tearing out his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber.
There were external injuries which were not self-inflicted discovered on T-Dog-san. There's a high probability T-Dog-san was assaulted. The external injuries suggest there may have been multiple suspects.
To summarize, T-Dog-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering in the night roads in a state of panic after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried to fight back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Then he died.
The presumed time of death was around 9:23 p.m., meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to T-Dog-san at the festival.
Everyone signaled T-Dog-san's shirt, and then everyone signed T-Dog-san's shirt, and then parted ways. Right after that... Oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her?
She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work, and she hasn't returned to her home either. There is a very high probability that she was involved with this incident.
For a while, I could only gaze off into space. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I had spent with T-Dog-san was very short. But we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was one of us.
We have been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oshiro-sama's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative.
That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for T-Dog-san, the outsider, telling me.
So that's why you came—
So that's why you came to me? Because I'm not originally from Hamanazawa? I should have been angry at this for the... I should have been angry that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened from me.
If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro T-Dog died from Oshiro-sama's curse.
He turned away from me and gazed far off into the distance.
The night of the Watanagashi, during that sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos, angering Oshiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out.
There's no way Oshiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on T-Dog-san. T-Dog-san had been killed by humans, and a cowardly group, no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse. I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. The tense mood was cut with the man's hearty laugh.
That's how it must be, Mahabara-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hamanazawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understand?
Neither T-Dog-san nor I believed in curses, but with the way things were going, it would just end up with T-Dog-san's death marking the 5th year, which would mean that Hamanazawa had rejected T-Dog-san. That was something I could not allow. T-Dog-san was one of us. He didn't live in Hamanazawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There was no way that T-Dog-san could have been cursed by Oshiro-sama. But there's nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either.
No. If you see or hear something that draws your attention, then that's good enough.
If I see or hear... He was talking in the future tense. Things or people or rumors?
Things or people or rumors, anything is fine. I don't care if they're unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up.
He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter.
Please help me solve these questions surrounding T-Dog-san's unfortunate death.
That's right. Why was I hesitating? I need to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face.
Everything we spoke of today is a secret. Please keep this confidential.
Understood.
From your friends as well. Especially from Sonozaki-san and Furuta-san. Please do not inform them.
Sonozaki? You mean Mion? Why? Why are you saying that they have something to do with the incident? With my friends' names brought up so abruptly and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry.
This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose.
Don't play games with me. Mion is a close friend of mine. I snapped back at him, but he didn't seem especially offended.
I wouldn't mind telling you, but it just may upset you.
Say it. He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit.
There's a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hamanazawa are a result of a village conspiracy.
There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, there is no proof of that.
No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved, and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village.
Then how did you come to that conclusion?
Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of Watanagashi. Do you think that's enough reason to suspect something?
Only the residents of Hamanazawa felt that the day of Watanagashi was sacred. So, basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hamanazawa?
First, it was that dam construction foreman. Then it was the villager that supported it. Those the village holds a grudge against die one after another from mysterious causes. The means are different, but in the end, the result is the same.
Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion. But it couldn't just be shrugged off. So the victims, after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village.
The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't very proactive, so there was a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result.
Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about his housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter? That's just a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about T-Dog-san? He was not affiliated with the dam project at all. Was he just killed because he was an outsider? In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of victims has become much lower.
Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower.
What's scary about that?
It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider is reason enough.
Then next year's victim, they're just going to be picked out of a villager outsider pool?
It might be a person that just moved here.
What do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here in Hamanazawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then, the next victims, my family. Was he saying that it was going to be me? But what does that have to do with Mion?
I can't go into the details, but the Sonozaki family led the dam protests. Quite fervently so. This was also true of Mion Sonozaki-san herself. She has quite a few misdemeanor and obstruction of public worker offenses on her record because of the protests.
I know Mion knew what it meant to fight. This was the first I had ever heard of her family leading the protests, though. Then, well, what did it all mean? Are you saying that Mion's family is involved with the string of incidents?
I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying, if it was a conspiracy, then they'd have the highest probability of being behind it.
Not a very clear explanation. I felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know.
We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers.
Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough.
Then think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe in the curse. How about that?
What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? By the reasoning behind wanting me not to carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. I had nothing to do with the curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just needlessly worry. Just like everyone kept it from me so I wouldn't worry about it. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they don't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly, and the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but I couldn't be helped. I understand. I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine? Mr.
Oshi from the Okonomiya police station. You can call me Kuro-chan if you want.
No. Uroshi-san is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though I've never seen one this bulky before on the cop shows I watch. I've taken up too much time. Wait. Erg! I hate how annoying it is that I can't tell who's speaking.
I've taken up too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably let you get back to them.
The door opened with a click and in streamed the oppressive heat. It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was almost a cruel heat as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside the car. Cruel, yeah. It was as if the land of Hamanazawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind.
I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please don't misunderstand that.
I refrained from telling him that it was too late to say something that self-serving.
It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, Mahabara-san. There is enough proof that the village is not involved.
I'll contact you if I hear or see anything, but I'm no detective. Please don't expect too much from me.
I won't. You don't have to become some detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything.
I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow. See you later.
See you later. Farewell, Mahabara-kun.
I returned to the school building without looking back. I don't know how much time has passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. T-Dog-san's death was hard enough as it was, but to think that there was a possibility of a village conspiracy. Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved. Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Rena, Satoko, or Rika-chan. It was a group that attacked T-Dog-san. Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be that they were hiding here, somewhere in Hamanazawa? I didn't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew Mion couldn't be the perpetrator. I have no idea who's talking.
It's me, Chan! The perpetrator!
Huh? I was startled a bit by that.
With the rope in the, lounge!
Nope.
No!
Rena clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you were just self-destructing over here, wow.
Kiachi-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger.
Sorry about that. I was called into the staff room, you see. You were reprimanded for bad behavior. That's a shame.
Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one. If I remember right...
Oh, wait. If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing last place?
Don't worry, Kiachi-kun. I'm at -1 point, so...
The heck? Her score is lower than mine, and I wasn't even playing?
This is the final match to decide what if the penalty is going to be carried out by Rena alone or both Ki-chan and Rena.
Yeah, right. Well, just let Rena do the penalty by herself.
We made a promise, Kiachi-kun, that we would both win. I waited all this time, you know?
Sorry about that. I followed my initial plan of showing Rena my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call.
I got it! The murderer is me! With the poison at the entrance! Is it?
My, Rena, quite a quick answer. Another stab in the dark. Oh.
Rena is correct.
Oh, then it's decided that Kiachi-san shall take part in this penalty as well.
Hooray! Kiachi-kun, let's both do our best!
Yeah, let's do our best. It was my fault. So I have no choice.
Then that's game. It's me, Mio and Shinozaki, ranked first, and in dead last are Kiachi Mahabara and Rena Ryugu.
Everyone applauded and the game ended. The problem now was penalty.
Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you will be buying for the gopher penalty.
What? Why? What would she make us buy, I wonder?
Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it?
Huh? I don't have any business at the drugstore. The old man's already got the list prepared. This old man's already got the list prepared for you on a piece of paper.
Whoa! There's a lot written here.
A lot? Damn it, what was she making us buy? 2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar, and fried tofu. The heck is this?
It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty.
Mi-chan was so certain she was going to win today.
Rule 7 of our society. You cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable. Thank you very much.
This is just your grocery list! I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. There are more than 4 perpetrators. Search notice. So, I'm just gonna say this right now. That was some pretty heavy stuff. Shit just cranked up a notch. Also, the detective voice was kind of a bitch to do. Fuck that first word. Hypovolemic shock induced by clawing out their own throat. Tissue is packed under the nails. Not someone else's nails. It's undoubtedly by the individual's own nails. The shape of the scars also matches. Fucking goddammit.
Yeah. I know the immediate cause of death was suicide.
I get it. You're saying the cause of death is unnatural, right?
It's kind of like when your back itches and you scratch it a little too hard to draw blood.
Some of T-Dog's fingernails had been pulled out. It's actually quite simple to pull out one's own nails, but it really hurts. Under normal circumstances, the pain would prevent you from completely pulling them out. Also, there were a lot of bruises on T-Dog's body. It's clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone or a group of people.
According to the toxicology report, the deceased was in an extreme state of hysteria right before death.
Then he fought back and clawed out his own throat because of how hysterical he had become. The guys attacking him certainly would have been surprised by that. It is possible that in such an abnormal environment, a person could perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, these are very rare cases. Actually, Oushi-kun, that plank of wood the deceased used as a weapon, they only found sand and paint from the guardrail on it.
What about the clothes fibers or the skin?
Nothing. The deceased didn't strike the assailants, or it could be that they took the plank he was fighting back with.
In that case, they wouldn't have gone out of their way to replace it with another. They'd take them all.
That's true. T-Dog's pretty...
Fucking shit, man. I don't know who's talking. Tomotaki is pretty built and tan. He was quite athletic.
Huh? That's right. He was pretty active. I can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive, but I think his physical strength would have been on the higher side, meaning he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. If a man with such physique sensed he was in danger and swung with the plank around quickly, then it's just unthinkable that it wouldn't even nick the perpetrator, and his opponent was unarmed. This guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think it hit him at least once. To surround and take down some of his physique, I wonder how many people it would take.
You dimwit, you should know better than anyone. Have you forgotten your bad cop days?
If I was to need to take down this guy, how many would I need? When a group wants to take down a big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers. I guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength, they'd manage. Then there were quite a few perpetrators, so any drunk and disorderly groups of more than 4 are suspicious? A group of 4 or more. Just, if they had that many, then couldn't they have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Or did he somehow break away from that fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way he died. It's full of mysteries.
That's under serious consideration on my end, too. I'll be examining it as thoroughly as possible, but don't get your hopes up. After all, we've never encountered a death like this before.
I'm not hoping for much, but I am looking forward to the results. Owashi-san, the chief is calling you.
Thanks. See you around.
Yeah. Best wishes. Fucking conversations that are two-sided and I have literally no idea which lines of dialogue belong to which people. Search notice. Please don't be dialogue. Jiro T-Dog, deceased. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishibone City. Registered under the name Jiro T-Dog. Pen name. Travels via folding bike. No licenses. The bicycle was found 300 meters away, abandoned at the side of a forest path. Present on the day of the festival, accompanied by the missing Mio Takano. It was seen around 9 p.m. by the police, location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Hanazawa for 1 week each season for the last 5 to 6 years. Freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazine companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located amongst the articles of the deceased. Wallet was among the articles of the deceased. Mere act of violence? From the contents of his wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba. Along the Sobu National Railway line? No individual matching the name Jiro T-Dog in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compared teeth to dental records. Send to Metro Police. Attach a photo. Send to the Metro Police. Contacting magazines regarding Jiro T-Dog. Mio Takano missing. Nurse at the Ira Clinic. Became close to T-Dog through her passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okinawa X District XXX. Single. Witnessed accompanied T-Dog on the festival grounds, currently missing. Abducted? Or maybe a suspect. An important person of interest. Had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from jealousy? Need to thoroughly investigate their relationship. Place of work, etc. Need to get information from the police on the scene again. I want some cream puffs. 4 jumbo ones. Uashi. Fucking fat ass. Alright. So. And that music's back again. That overly happy music for such a holy crap filled episode of we learned T-Dog got murdered. And there's a woman missing, and that we are now being contacted and told to look out for creepy shit by the police. That'll be fun. We'll see how that turns out in the next episode, if we can keep this secret from our friends, or if shit might start going crazy. As this Oshiro-sama curse maybe is going to continue working its magic. Next time.